It's all about scanning our film that we developed from last week, or if you're here just to learn how to scan. I hope you're all doing well on this insanely hot day. I mean, it's like 110 out. It is hot, and I'm under lights, so it's even hotter, even with the AC on. So I'm filming this video right after my color film development, my whole journey. Even if you're not interested in it, I do recommend you watch it. I'll put a link, I believe it's in this corner, up here, and in the description below. Even if you don't, want to develop your own film, it is still pretty interesting to see how that development is done from start to finish. And I mean, I'll have shorter videos of just the development, not making the chemistry. But that's not why you're here. You're here today about scanning some color film or black and white. I'll explain the process for that as well. So as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, click that bell notification, and with that out of the way, let's jump into scanning. So the scanner I'm using is the Epson V550. It is an older model, but the codes still do check out. The newer model is the V600, and as far as I can tell, they are exactly the same. I don't know. However, when you do get it, it will come with two little trays that I have here. The first tray will have 135 or 35 millimeter film trays, 2 slots of that, and it will have some color positive slide film holders if you want to scan that in. And on the second one, it comes with our 120. And what's really neat about these is it has these little slots. I don't know if we'll be able to see it, but you just match this slot up with the slot in the scanner, and that's really simple. The Epson software to scan is completely free and can be found at Epson's website. But besides that, there's really nothing else that comes with it besides cables, obviously. It's a good scanner for dedicated to scan. Now, you can scan documents and old photographs in this as well. I mean, it is a regular scanner. What makes it a film or photo scanner is when you open it up, it has this glass panel, which I'll probably insert a shot here of it. This glass panel allows it to actually scan the film through. I've seen videos of people using cameras and phones and other stuff, and it's not bad. But this just gives you a little bit more control and allows you to blow your picture up much larger and better detail. That's it with the scanner. I want to touch really quick on the film. As I've said in the last video, handle your film as least as possible. And I definitely do mean least as possible because you don't want to damage that emulsion. So try and handle it with care on the sides, like I explained in the last video. If you want, they also make anti-static gloves, like archival gloves. They're white that you can handle your film with. But if you don't want any of that, some little extra tidbits that you may want to pick up for not only your film but for your scanner is first a rocket, just to blow stuff off the film or off the scanner. It helps. Or if you don't want to buy gloves, take out some film with it too, is this Ilford anti-static cloth, and you can take it out and you brush the film with it to get off stuff, or the scanner. Works great. You can even handle the film with this. It's probably one of the better things that I've ever bought when it comes to film, and your film obviously. But that's pretty much it for little tidbits you may want. Scanner's pretty simple, straightforward. So with that being said, let's jump into loading our trays and the program, and it'll be that simple. As you see, we're in professional mode. This can really be achieved in professional mode. The regular like auto mode, home mode, all that stuff is just going to scan and that's it. The document type is film. Our film type will be color film because that is what we are developing. The bit rate, or the bit to color, I guess you could say in our case, there's a few things to be aware of. And the first thing and foremost thing is the difference between 48 and 24. Now there is a slight difference, but it's not huge. So 24 and 48 bit, they are made up of reds, greens, and blues. So let's use 48 bit. Well, now there are 16 channels, or 16 reds, 16 greens, 16 blues, that make up that 48 bit channel of color. So why would you do 48 compared to 24? Well, in the simple long run is better editing, printing, and options that come to it. So in 24-bit, once you scan it, it's scanned. And some issues that have blue skies in it can have what's known as color banding in it, where the picture looks pixelated for some strange reason, but it's really not in the scan. The 48-bit is really good for things like printing photos or editing in Photoshop. And you really just always want to pick 48-bit, even if the file size is slightly larger. That way, if you go to print or edit it, it's there. Because in the end, it's still going to end up 24-bit when you go to share it on like social media or on your phone. So I would always recommend hit 48-bit. Now, resolution, there's really no other term for it, resolution, but I like to say this is your time. So the lower it is, the shorter the amount of time, and the longer it is, the longer amount of time to scan. So if I did 300 DPI, this would take maybe a minute, 2 minutes to blast right through them, and your image is going to be rather small on your screen. However, if you pick like 4,800, now it could take anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes to even an hour, depending on how you have everything set up. So that really just determines the resolution of that image when it's blown up. Our document size, you don't need to worry about it. And our target size, at the moment, you don't need to worry about it. Down here, there will be these adjustments, I guess you could say, that are okay. I would just rather scan it in and then adjust it in like Photoshop or Lightroom myself. But you don't need to, do it if you don't want to. It's just your basic colors, curves adjustment, and stuff like that. These other options you have, unsharp mask, I guess you can keep clicked. Grain reduction is sometimes a wonderful tool to use, and color restoration is also very good. So you might have a photo that has a pink or purple hue. It will just color correct that automatically for you. And that is a photo to photo per basis, so don't just click it for all of them. Just go photo by photo, take the time, and click it on and off and see if it really needs that adjustment. The dust removal, I would say be careful with. I've had issues where there's something in my frame that was the subject, but dust removal saw it as an object that was dust, and it completely just tried to remove it, and it was terrible. So once you kind of go through and click which ones you want, just hit preview, and it'll pop up in the thumbnail view. Now, I know for a fact that I have more photos than that, so I'm going to hit normal, okay, and here are all my film strips. And you can see it only took 6, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it left 3 behind. I can easily correct that with my tool, and I can go in here and I can draw a box around images that I would like So let's do these three. Okay. And they all look good, so I will select all. And I will hit scan. This box will be pulled up. And you really want to make sure you know where your stuff is going, and you don't want to get it lost. So locations, other, I'll hit browse. I know I have film scan on my thing. I want to make a new folder in that, and I'll do 4. So now it is going to 004. The prefix, you can keep calling it, actually I know where this one is, so this is Boston Aqua, let's call it Aqua. And the start number, 001. The prefix, just label it whatever is the assignment on the roll of film. Just keep things simple, it works the best. For the type, unless you're just doing like a proof for like a client or a proof for a gallery or something, you know, you can do JPEG for that stuff. Always pick TIFF. TIFF is basically a raw file, and it will be treated and handled as if a raw file. But again, keep in mind, file size will be huge. Overwrite any files the same name, show the style, yes. Open image folder after scanning, we'll do yes. And all you gotta do is hit OK. And I left my resolution at 300, just to do a quick little scan through. That'll scan, and when that is done scanning, we'll see what the images are and see if there needs any little correcting. So, as you can see, actually, it will say less than a minute. And then we'll compare that to what it says for a much higher DPI. Right, so that literally took less than a minute, so I just want to see what it... It's a little me. See what the photos are. Okay. I think out of all of these, I only really want to keep this one. So what I will do is I will click on me. Now I want my resolution to be much higher, so let's do 32. And hit scan. Now I do not want to overwrite any files with the same name. We'll do 4. Okay. Just so I can show you the difference between the two. Now I will say that this is where I will give some little tips while this is scanning. So I guess they're not really called tips, are they? So an 8x10 is usually good at around 2,700 DPI. Around that area would be basic for an 8x10. A 4x5 would be good at about maybe 650, 600, maybe 700, somewhere around there. So you can see that, there's a big difference between 300 and 2,400 and the size of the image that is scanned. Now that smaller one's good if you just need like a proof, or if you just need something quick just to show someone before you print it or make it larger or what have you. There are some basic things like an 8x10 would usually be brought in at around 2,700, 3,000, somewhere around there. A 4x10, if I was going to make this a 4x10, I'd want a DPI of like 650 would be a decent, you know, as low as you go for that size. And you would just come over here into this tab here and you would just fix it around here. But that's really all there is to scanning. It's simple, it's easy, takes a lot of time. and the file sizes can get quite large, so make sure you have the space for that. That is it. That's literally all there is to scanning. It is super simple, super quick, and there's really nothing else to it. This was a short video. It's rather simple. I hope you enjoyed it. It's definitely not as long as the last video I put out, and I won't put out too many long videos like that unless I absolutely have to. If you have any questions at all, leave a comment down below, because everyone has a comment about something sooner or later, and if you need help, I'm here to help you out. You can follow me on Instagram to stay up to date on my current and latest work. Also, I may post some of the scanned photos that I've taken and post them up there as well. And I mean, I have a newsletter down below. Sign up for the newsletter and get deals on prints and information on workshops and all other cool little goodies that come along with it. I mean, yeah, so I'm hoping to see you in the next video. So until then, let's not waste no more time. Happy shooting, happy scanning. Bye-bye.